Hey, what's going on, guys? Alex here. Many of you called out this little game called Eternights in the comments recently, and those mentions did not fall on deaf ears, because in this video, I'm proud to reveal to you that I've had the pleasure to play through a preview build of the game at least twice, and share with you my thoughts on this upcoming action RPG. My goal for this video is to walk you through Eternights' action gameplay, as well as my impressions on its character building sections. The demo I played was roughly 90 minutes long, and gives you a pretty good feel for the combat as well as its narrative sections, and the footage that you're seeing right now is captured directly from my Steam Deck. If you want to try the game out for yourself, there's a special Steam Next Fest demo releasing later today that gives you an early look at Eternights' first act. The very first thing that struck me while playing Eternights is how quick it managed to make me care about the game within the first few moments. You start off by having a dialogue with your friend Chani, followed by an opportunity to name your character, which, by the way, this entire scene is voice acted, and in fact, for the exception of the main character, every character in Eternights is voiced, and voiced well, if I might add.
I'm serious! Online dating is a free-for-all with we get nothing.
For folks who want more voice options, the game will have a choice of English, Japanese, and Korean voice acting. Now, the interactions between the characters feel natural, with the game allowing you to throw playful barbs at your friend and them reacting appropriately. From that scene alone, Eternights really demonstrated to me that the writers know what they're doing. Soon enough in the demo, things fall apart, as a mysterious thing or being, it was never really made clear, starts turning humans into monsters. That's where you'll be tutorialized and taught how to fight. The combat in the game is actually very straightforward. You have a regular attack button and a dodge to start. The game rewards perfect dodges by slowing down time and making you temporarily invulnerable during this, so it's a crucial part of the gameplay loop. Later on, you'll also have the ability to call upon your friend Yuna to lay down a healing circle on the ground to replenish your health, as well as use a super attack that you'll build up through constant offense and perfect dodging, which has a series of QTE animations that feel impactful and fun. In fact, the game has some pretty good audio and visual cues that feel satisfying as you hack and slash your way through your opponents. Unfortunately, while the preview build I played taught me how to spend points to buy new skills, I never had enough currency to do so, nor was I able to play around with the different social attributes that were shown in the pause menu. Going back to the combat, I actually liked its pace and found it extremely responsive. Like, the only quirk that I personally found strange was that it took a while for your character to pull out their sword at the beginning of battle, finding myself mashing attack and seeing that I'm just running around monsters and not doing anything. Otherwise, the combat is simple enough that I took the entire game for a spin a second time, and a third and a fourth, separated by several days of not picking it up, that was able to just jump into the combat with relative ease. From a presentation standpoint, I do find that the game's beginning moments to be a bit dark at times. We're talking about the lack of lighting here and the prevalence of dark sections. A good example is that there's a section of the demo that taught me how to run, asking me to dodge things in the way as I ran away from a monster that's chasing me, but I kept getting hung up on things that were just too dark to see. Apart from that, I do find the aesthetic of the game to be charming. Since this is an indie title, I'm not expecting AAA levels of quality, but Eternights' art style is definitely equal parts pretty and disgusting. Cutscenes in the game are either fully animated in engine, presented via traditional animation, or as stills. Personally, these differences in presentation didn't bother me one bit, though I was pleasantly surprised to see traditional animation for what seemed to me as a smaller title. I also want to point out that while Eternights seemed to borrow the calendar system from the Persona games, I didn't have to figure out how to spend my days in the preview build, as the story has been pretty linear so far. That said, the devs have mentioned that the final version will have deadlines and that you'll have to spend your time wisely if you wish for a good outcome. Whether or not this means that there'll be multiple endings a la Persona is a different story altogether, and unfortunately, no clarifications were given with regards to that. Overall, I really liked what I played of Eternights. While this is very early on, and I wanted to play more of the game so that I can have a sense for the progression system, I did find the combat to be very easy to pick up and play. Trying to read enemy animations while executing perfect dodges and retaliating and pulling out fantastic super moves is a treat. But because this is early on, I'm not sure how the gameplay loop is going to stick with a player, especially given that I haven't even experienced the calendar system with the deadlines and such. But if there's anything that I want you to take away from this video is this. Eternights promises to be one of those games that you need to pay attention to, especially if you're hankering for an action RPG that has some really good character developing moments that can make you fall in love or just empathize and want these characters to survive. Like my time with Chani and Yuna and the rest of the characters that you'll meet, I can honestly say was a great way to spend 90 minutes of my time. And the fact that I even did it at least 4 more times is a testament to how good this is. Once again, the demo of Eternights is going to be available at Steam Next Fest later today. And if you're watching this past June 19th, it's probably available right now for you to play as well. The game is slated to come out on September 21st, 2023 on PlayStation platforms and PC. And if you're curious what other games were announced during the Summer Game Fest, click the video up top to check out a news roundup of at least 2 of the RPGs that were announced during Summer Game Fest. And above all else, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.